It seems like it never catches what I say in the beginning. Hi, and welcome to Chastia. And today it is a Star Commander, and if you want to call it the Earth Angel Angelic Crew Squad reporter, here to help explain the time shifts and what's going on. Because my crew over here is all your ancient star seeds that were doomsday seeds, and then that's how it started. And we activated in 2017 and have been building timelines with higher energetics and star and cosmic energy for end of days. And in a lot of ways, how everything happened and how it happens through a cosmic rebirth is and would be described in the experience as what a time traveler would feel like. Now, if you haven't experienced this yet, you will be. And today, I came on last night and I heard that there was a little bit of angle work going on the live feed, and one of my crew caught it and literally got sick from it. And I didn't know that until this afternoon. I had slept in late because we had a time change overnight, and we've got these geomagnetic storms, and we blew a hole in this reality, and everything's separating into two distinct energy fields. And what we're experiencing on this planet is learning and seeing and witnessing how all of the collective works in order to project reality, and how much of it was coming from a natural human projecting that in a human experience and in a natural process, and how much of that was being infiltrated in all these different spheres and lineups. And I ask you to look. I'll just don't send anything bad on here right now. You don't want to do it. So anybody else, and I don't speak that language and I don't understand it, but I'm just warning you. You're dealing with the ones over here that are birthing your solar system, and that's why I'm on here talking to everybody and telling them, because you're going through a rebirth process, or you're going into a planetary system. Now the problem, and today I woke up and it's a stagnant energy today, isn't it? It's a real stagnant energy. And for all of us that have been fighting for the human race and have been rebirthing your star systems and processing your bodies so that you can breathe when you blow yourself up. And all of us that have taken all your bullshit and dealt with all your attacks and everything else, even though we're the ones here saving the world. Us cosmic seeds basically had to and had the capability, because we're ancients, in order to rebirth the cosmos, and that is what we did. See, the reason that a lot of these beings don't know anything about karma is because the planetary system had been put into a vector. It had been put into a simulation. So nobody was getting. Nobody was getting any karma. And what me and my crew are realizing is the depths of what we all have been doing, and especially me and my crew, because we can go back to the days in August, because what's happening right now in November is a lineup all from August, and it's dealing with Lionsgate and Stargates, specifically from August 2021 and 2022 and 2023. Now, what I'm on here to let everybody know is that that's the Stargate that they had always taken over. Well, we took it back. And we even rebirthed Jupiter. And that year-to-date's coming up on the 17th. So why I'm telling you this is because since 2021, my star crew and the organic beings that made up your original solar system plan, because we're the most ancient ones down here, and we've been rebirthing it the whole time that y'all have been blowing it up. Well, now is whenever everyone is going to magnetize and shift in to either an ascended timeline, which means that you've done all your healing. You're definitely not still attacking anybody, because you have to clear your energy field in order to be able to hold your energy and hold your own balance without a planetary system and people to hold you up. It's a process. Right now, what's happening is that the higher timelines are setting in, and we are starting the 04310 days. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, this is evidently because what we're realizing is if you want to go back in your picture book or your notes or whatever it is and look up August 5th, August to August 8th of the last 3 years, and then especially like the last couple of days. If you have any notes and you keep notes and you keep pictures, go look at the last 2 days before today, and then you're going to be like, oh my gosh, this just came back into my world. This just happened. This just happened. Because this simulation, because as we were rebirthing it, it was blowing. And that's what today has been all about. It's a stagnant energy, because those of us who rose up were like, you know what? Screw y'all. Now realize that that decision was made in 2022 whenever they tried to spinal tap me and take over the entire human template. And yeah, we was at some people's house that said that they were the king's house, but we had 2 phoenixes that were a level above them. And my phoenix came to me, and she's now a Gaia that's holding your little program for a minute. Because this is the elevation that we're talking about over here. But then she and I, whenever the DNA got done, we had to test them. Damn straight. Sure glad we did. And why I'm telling you that is because on August 8th, so we went raw right around this time. And before that happened, we had to set up how we were all going to get in, how we were all going to get back in. I mean, I literally have a picture of me in a suitcase, because on another dimension, that's what I'm coming in. Boom, something's fixing to hit. Jupiter has started a rebirth. And what I realized today is what that really freaking meant, because I knew it happened on the 17th. My water broke, literally. It was a trip. We've walked the whole thing and even had to birth the moon. And that's what this whole last year has been about, was this shadow pieces, because the Jupiter tabernacle, which is what Jupiter is. Jupiter is the tabernacle. What Jupiter does is puts in all the beings in their reality codes. On one side of Jupiter is all of your Venus, your Mars, Sirius, Pleiades, Orion, Arcturus, all the ones that have to do with who you are, what type of being you are. Whenever you get on the other side of Jupiter, you've got Betelgeuse, Bellatrix, Mama Hot, mass congregations. Bellatrix is a program, everybody's have or have nots. Betelgeuse, a different program for a mass consciousness, not for just one person. It's different. You had either your space programs, you were either tuned to your star programs and you had space programs, or you were more Orion, which is Neanderthal, man, and Bellatrixians, the Hollywood people. You're it, you're not. You've got to do this to get this, you can't. That's Orion Bellatrix. That's a consciousness and a program, a human program, that if you're one of those seeds, you just have it. You just run it. We'll see all those have been blown. At the same time, in every human, what's happening is a process that their recessive DNA and their DNA is merging in these cosmic energies in order to ignite the neurons in your brain, in order to put and bring your consciousness out so that you can start thinking for yourself, and you can feel the intuitive guidance of all the programs that us starseeds have been writing. Because we everything that you need is in those folders. Everything that you need is in this Akashic library, if you want to call it that. But it's much bigger than that. This is about the human race. All it took was one to get out. You know why? Because that one lived every single program and walked with everybody to get all the avenues out. Why? Because once that one gets out, as long as it's the right one, everybody gets it. And that's what's going on with 04310. Only through the Christ body, which you can consider as Christ, you consider as Cancer. But if you are telling me any type of Buddhist that Christ and Buddha don't get along, I'll argue with you till the sun sets. It's two different religious programs in order to manifest two different etheric reality creation needs. Christ can't do shit without Buddha. Buddha can't do shit without Christ. Not in that. That was the problem. The problem was that then the Buddhists and all that were building matrices, building moon mansions, building more universes, and they forgot all about the Christ side, that's your body. The Vatican set of religions and the Christ set of religions, it's talking about your body. That book is an astronomy book. Your Kabbalah, all that too. Different set of energies, teaching you two different things. In this new reality, you're becoming, there is no more walls in anything to hold you from nothing. Whatever you are, that's in you, that's activating, is like it used to be. You're not in a video game where you're just slinging energy. No. You're in a field and you're merging in and out of it and having to read all the different currents as it's coming in, blasting people open, especially if you haven't healed your body yet. Because if you haven't healed your body yet, you're going through body clearings, and guess what? That happens in waves of a collective. Because in different levels, you're flushing the blood. Everybody's in a big old bubble, inside bubbles, with a bunch of bubbles exploding, and now one big bubble's coming and taking over another bubble. 0 point. We're witnessing how the Masonic and all that was done, and we definitely learned all about that. All these murders, all these killings. Okay, we take this energy, we tie it up over here, we tie it up over here. We take this energy, we tie it up, and we tie it up over here. Oh shit, who's the bitch that it's all on her back? Oh, let's go kill her. Boom, boom, boom. Oh crap, she done die. Well, let's do this and let's do that. And then it's like Stargates, and then it's like this. Okay, well, how about a different way? We got a better idea. How about you let us do what we do? Because you don't have a choice. Because we's right the whole time. Now the body then bursts into the matrix stuff, and then there is all this Buddha stuff, and man, they know how to create. That is for sure. They definitely do. But the problem is nobody was understanding that this one was over here funneling it, and this one was working together the whole time. And whenever these guys get too big and these guys get too small, then that's when everything goes boom. Especially when these guys are getting screwed over so bad because of this, and it becomes a point that the whole freaking atmosphere blows out the back, the wheel blows out. No more Kabbalah, no more Allah. Now what? Now your body is going to go through a process the same as all of us who walked through this 7 years before. And your body is going because you're not really here. You think that your body's foot. You think that you're walking around and that you're holding up your body, but let me tell you, by the time you're done birthing out of your body, you're gonna look back at this and you're gonna go, "Oh my God, I know what she's talking about now." Because as you're going into a field where you're realizing that that something's been controlling you, whether it be the energy, well, it's a bunch of stuff. It's the things around you, it's the energy you've been moving in, it's the contracts you've been signing, it's you just not taking care of yourself. I mean, some of us were made to only be projections, like myself. Or if you're a big deal like us, then they's doing black magic to try to keep you that way, which is even more of a trip, because as your body is rebirthing, then what you're going through is seeing all the bullshit and witnessing every single piece of all the spell work and everything that was being done onto you, because it's like it gets stretched out in time so that you can work it out. But if you've been fully taken over, then you will have an experience where you might go into convulsions. Like you might start feeling a panic attack and you go into convulsions. That's what happened to me. Because in some realm or whatever, I was inside. It's like I was totally encased by, and I couldn't get out, and I was fighting, and my body parts started, I started wailing whenever I came out. And then as we were even disconnecting the body, and this was a year, and on August 5th is whenever, if you go back, they were pulling that stuff out of my back. Well, those connections in my back were connected to satellite grids. They were connected to Channel 5 News in California for sure, because we had to deal with the truck over there. See? Stuff like that. It's like whenever I cut that connection in my back, then you have the experience of what was interfacing with it. It'll show you in your reality what was hooked into it. Now, I'm telling you all that because for the past 2 years, my crew has been setting up for this weekend. And so basically all of the crap that went down Lionsgate 2021, where I was led into a gate where they were taking me into fucking hell, but with a bunch of other ones. But now, now I know that that's when everything shifted and they took over the Stargate, and that's when all of us went to the wrong side. when heaven got taken over by hell. Now, since then, we've had to close down the Lionsgate. Lionsgate's blown up. All those Stargates have blown up. The problem is that program even is still running around us, even like an NPC, because that's what I had to deal with today. I had to deal with the narcissistic motherfucker that was supposed to show up around me, and all he had to do was keep his oath. That he made to Buddha, by the way. But they still want to play these fucking games, and it's just not going to be tolerated anymore. But we knew that you was going to do it. Even knew down to the tacos that I launched on, because see, this is leading back to August 5th. Well, August 5th is when I was at the AC Hotel, and it's all going down. Just this year. But that's because it started 2021, 2022. What's lining up right now also is the August 5th. That was all to do with straw man, and it was all to do with the banking systems, and then especially this part, because this is the part that I have that nobody else does, and it's the understanding of how this financial machine works in the United States of America, in which real estate, you just have to own and stick people there in order to run it and freaking be rich. That part. Because I know how the United States of America works as a big money-making machine, especially because my team's the one who put back together the bloodlines for it. And August 5th, this 2023 at the Hilton Hotel in Frisco, Texas, was all about the banking currents. What's going on in the world right now? How many people don't got their money? It's Sunday, what time? It's the actual reality of it versus an illusion. And that is what's happening today. Now, only when you're at 0 point, the reason that you can go quatra, which is 4, is linked into what I started talking about, was it goes to John Baptiste and Jesus, Yahshua, but really Jesus de Graw, because I mean our names are like a big old line of paper. You know, John Baptiste and Jesus, same dude, different dimension. I got a whole little thing on that. Even why Yahshua was baptized by John, because John was from here. Yahshua wasn't. It makes a difference. Cause now we know for sure. Cause whenever you get blown out to nothing, then how do you get back into the human race? How do you get back into a DNA? When you get blown out into nothing, and if you don't have any body attachments, then how do you get back in? See, this is something that I never even thought of or would think that I needed to think of until it started happening. And then us realizing that this is why we were claiming the stuff that we had been claiming. It wasn't about power for us. We knew that this is what was going down. So 3, but John Baptiste, Yahshua, and see, then there's the feminine versions, and these are the ones that everybody just wanted to just discount, and this is why the world blew up, and this is why maternals, and this is why women came and kicked y'all's ass, and this is why y'all couldn't handle it. This is why narcissistic behavior, all because we're girls. And in your real third world country of an unconscious human collective run by a bunch of drones outside of a cosmic system, y'all completely forgot about negative space, physics, and that you could control any of it. And that's what we as ancients were here and got our freaking mind zapped to the world in order to figure out with the human race so that we could reset it like we were supposed to, because we definitely have the power to do it. We're humans. So 4 goes quadra, then you go to 3. There's your trinity to line up in the grids. Now, the reason that that Christ and that Christ body holds you is because it's also cosmic, because your energetic soul is I mean, whenever you're a little bitty firefly, and then all of a sudden you boom out, you blow out. So then how does that gather back in? Well, it's in those lines, and in those family lines exist all your lines. All of them. All of them. All of them. No matter where you're from, no matter what part of the country you're from, no matter what ET you are, no matter if even clones can birth a heart and be real. You just can't buzz into the clone network and stalk people and fucking exist off like if you're a clone and you've got to birth a heart and everything else, well then guess what? You have to do every single line that they mixed in together to go find and make your clone. Maybe this is why I saw Eminem in Saudi today. The Father, the Son, and who? The Holy Ghost. Who is that? The feminine. Always right on the other side. We were literally in dimensions right on the other side of y'all this whole time. Just like that. But they were really far away. And then they got closer and closer and closer, and boom. You've got the Vector Pisces. Well, this has been going on since 2017 in our world. The solar maximum is happening now. We had to come out of your core. So the beings and even the healing and the networks and the healers and all of the ascended energy has been pulled from the lower collective. I'll say it again. Because everybody took everything for granted. You have no idea what we all went through in order to get digital currency here. Because you just thought that it just existed from nothing and that somebody just hooked up a machine and it was just, this is just, no. No. It slaughtered 6 billion in the future. And y'all didn't even let it run a year. Let me say it again. It slaughtered 6 billion in the future in a year. All because nobody wanted to really understand how it works. Because you take it for granted. You think that you're just going to be in a vector and live in avatar land. No, you're in a real body now, and you have to hold yourself up. And we had to rebirth a planetary system, and I had to activate all the way to Sarah Damaris and Kay Abel in order to fucking open up Persepolis again for the unsoulless so that we could wrangle y'all off of us so that the whole world wouldn't blow up because of your ignorance. Literally. And that's what's happening right now. 3. Trinity. It goes to 1. 0, 4, 3, 1, 0. You go through it. Now here's what's going on. Today marks day 1 of 4 days that are 1 day. Let me say it again. Today is, thank you for staying on if you're still here. I think I only have 1, but I don't know, they were messing with my crap, but if you mess with my stuff, you're going into Saturn. And that's all of YouTube and all of you. So if y'all don't want to get this information up, you're just getting yourself locked up worse. So I'd really get it on mainstream and push it to the people who need to know what's going on the planet instead of messing with me as well. That part. Because I know how YouTube was made. And I know who really owns it. Today is the 5th. It's Sunday. So we're going to have a 7-day cycle that the final day is going to be the 12th, next Sunday. This is what information came in whenever I was talking about the stagnant energy right now. What's going on today? Why am I dealing with these people trying to come in and ask me to do this bullshit again? And I realized it was because I had called off all NPC players to no longer test us, that we had mastered everything. So then because I think we did that, today they were interfaced. You might have had a little test of some sort. I know I did in my world because I called in for it to be cut, and then it showed up again to see if I was going to stand in what I said or if I was going to pay for another loop around a carousel on a bullshit experience where they steal all your energy and your money and your children and tie you to a fucking tree or a cross or whatever they can get their hands on. That part. So today's the 5th. So the 5th, the 6th, the 7th to the 8th. And this is how I know this is lining up to Lionsgate. But it's basically Lionsgate is no longer a portal. We birthed through that portal. We closed that portal because it was like a little bitty spot in the universe and in our body that everybody was passing through. Understand, we also cured cancer. There is no, like, literally. They were killing us this whole time to keep y'all diseased. That was 2 years ago. So until the 8th, and today started it. Now, what's weird is that you can't, what we even realized today, now listen, because this is like what the next 4 days, let me give you an example. What 4 and 1 is. Because if you think back on your healing journey, you probably have some 4 and 1 days. Those 4 days that you couldn't wash your hair, those 3 days specifically that you remember you had to do something over. And why'd you wear that outfit 3 days in a row? Or 4 days in a row? And you noticed it. It's not that you just did it. No, you did it and you were like, it's been 3 days, and you said it out loud. Well, this is, kind of think back. Because what it's doing is it's all culminating right now. And the dogs just barked. So until the 8th, today is basically the underside energy of what is going to culminate next Sunday. Because that is how clear everything is and how the energies are merging in this light and dark right now, in these energetics of physics, in these different frequencies. Because one's a cosmic energy and one's static energy, electrical energy. It's two different things. It's two different things. Now, there are versions of us that work with both sides, but that was the problem. Because that's how you got tied down to a pole, tied down to a tree, fucking everything. Because we are connectors. But we no more connected to that down there. Not until everybody comes and nates. Not until people come and work with us properly, and then we will allow our energy to be used for connectors. We will allow for it to be used in electric company type of things because it needs to be done, and our energy holds it. I mean, it's been doing it this whole time. We're just not going to allow for the lights to stay on in this bullshit right now. And if it goes down, it goes down. Also, the beings that are right underneath us need to alchemize through it or hold it for everybody. Because we're not. Not until we're contracted properly, and we need to grid new electric companies, because I know how to grid them. That's what all these wrecks are. That's why I know about them. Because they're trying to pole us in a way, and so we're having to fuck with it. That's why I know about it. Everything I'm telling you is how the world and the electric grids and everything were set up to begin with, except your major electric companies were also set up on cemeteries and very specific people buried in their backyard. Literally. Because we walked it. Those are the type of scenarios that we're dealing on 4 days. All those little crazy little things that I just talked about and said and kind of blipped y'all all over the place, and it was all these mass concepts of electric grids and reality codes and mass, macro, a 4 day. A 4 day. Today is really kind of the shadow side of what's coming next week even. Because that's how in alignment it is. So what's happening over this next week is like a new creation pattern is being released into the collective in a new ascended timeline energetic, and it's different, and it's actually never been done before, that it's been projected this way, because realize that all of us that wrote the cosmic ascended timelines and stuff, our bodies have been the media and the network, and they've just been they knew that we held all those codes. That's why they were farming us and doing what they was doing to us and experimenting on us and all that shit. That is all about technology. But your body is the computer. That's what they didn't want you to know. And they didn't want us to make it out fully and put back together so that you'd still buy their bullshit and not realize that you can create literally, and you don't die. You die when you want to, especially right now, because whatever lifetimes that you've claimed on your healing journey or not, because if you haven't claimed any lifetimes, then what's going to happen is kind of like in a video game, lights out, game over, restart, literally. We've had to walk it for 3 years. It'll drive you insane. To repeat the same day every day for 3 years on 3 different dimensions, but is what we had to do. 3. Those days start 9, 10, 11. November 9th, November 10th, November 11th. The Trinity. Where all that electric grid, bah, 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 and then you're running the current. Okay, I'm the current. I'm running through the current, literally. And then you have a personality too that then walks, that then comes out through it. The Trinity. The Father, the Son, the Holy Ghost. But what you're doing is rebirthing yourself back into reality at a time when the world fucking blew up. That part. I just saw Grady something, and I'll talk about it more because I just saw it on Taco. I call it TikTok. I call it Taco. And I guess, and this is because, I mean, I've been on my own. We've been dealing with all this over here. So what I don't know right now in this 2023 are all the cool people and the cool names of all the spiritual things and the books and all your speakers and all these badass seminars that y'all have been able to go to and learn all this spiritual stuff and know all these writers. I know none of them because I got activated and went off on a spiritual journey, and so I'm looking forward to meeting more of them now. But just FYI, I never know who these people are. So, but I'll be watching this one and probably talking about it more. Grady something. And he channels what they call ETs, and that they've been getting the broadcast that 2 groups were on the way. And that because the Israeli thing is getting so out of control and blah, 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 blah. Well, In our world, that's what we've been here for, training for, knowing our whole existence. We were either here getting the human body ready for nuclear holocaust, because that's why we were experimented on in the ways, and our souls even agreed to do it for myself. I mean, I was placed here by the Masons for last days for this right now. But all of us in the lines had paid for it over and over and over, and everybody wanted to keep that record on repeat because they wanted the same ones to pay for it over and over and over. Well, guess what? We've been paying for it for so long. Our bodies glow. We jump from stars. We can like birth anything. We can even make a Saturn and put you back into it so that you learn your life lessons to realize that you can't do that to yourself and your body and anybody else, because you're doing it to yourself. You can't, you have to understand where the energy is coming from, because it ain't just a money tree growing in your backyard anymore. But literally there was. A lot, you know, and this is, everybody on this planet thinks that they got it so hard. Everybody thinks they've got it so hard. Trust. If you're in a positive bloodline, if you weren't an RH negative, number one, you weren't paying any karma. Your RH negatives were doing it. You know why? We had to hurry up and pay everybody's karma so that we'd be ready to be able to do what we're doing right now when the world blew up. So everybody else got a free ride. But then all of us got so fucked because it kept going on and on and on. And so all of us got even more and more badass, freaking rebirth ourselves. We can do it because it went on forever and ever and ever. And all we were doing was cleaning the body and the energy, cleaning the body and the energy, cleaning the body. Well, let me tell you, these are some crazy ass fucking machines. They scare the shit out of me. I scare myself. I can do anything. Like, for real. And then I will, because I've been being shown that I can for the collective. This is how I birthed Jupiter. I'm here to teach everybody what your body can do so that we can build. That is what New Earth is. Well, if you don't understand that you've been sucking the energy out of this person, this person, this person, and even worse, you've been hired and being the one doing it. Well, it's a vibrational thing. You ain't gonna have a gas station. You ain't got nowhere to fill up. You gotta learn. I had to do it. If you're in a masculine headset, I mean, I had to do it. I was masculine. I running time clocks. Shit. I was having 2 lunch meetings. I was eating twice a day, sometimes having 2 lunch meetings a day. I'd have 20, 30 meetings a week. I ran my own consulting company. I was all 3D. Go, 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 go. And when you're in the game, and if you're a man, and if you're a masculine, and you're any good, here's what happens. Tell me if I'm wrong. The more money that you make, the more connections you're making, the higher that you're climbing that ladder, the more energy you have. Is it not correct? Isn't it crazy what you can get done in a day whenever you're in their energy nozzle? It's freaking nuts. It's nuts. Now, as you birth into your body, and as you start understanding how we really create and move, and for how powerful you were, because once y'all that were making maneuvers in the Matrix rebirth in your body, we're literally might gonna have to, like myself, stay in your house for 4 days, because if you move too much, you're gonna throw us off fucking course to like a wrong star system and shit. Because that's how ancient we are, and that's how long we've been down in this vector with a whole bunch of unconscious people steering us the wrong direction in space. And so y'all are incredible. And whenever you opened up and you do that, but then whenever you go through the processing and the feminine energy and you start realizing, and you have to uncoil yourself from your timelines. You have to. There's no other way through it. You have to uncoil from the timelines. Your etheric body in some way is going to be bound to it. You and money and finance, those are the main things that killed us all. Bit processing money processing, ATM money processing, and then the value of it, and then the fact that everybody was just acting like it's ridiculous. Money is stupid whenever you realize how everything manifests. It's your human energy and what you put out. I know that the system that that's linking in is like those of us that are high frequency beings, cause like right now, when this house in Texas, AT&T has 3 IP addresses and 3 signals running off my house. And they used to have the giant tower over here because literally AT&T is using my signal, and has been, because I was the star in Texas. But all I was doing is getting fried. Well, that ain't going to be able to be allowed to be done anymore. Now, all the humans in Dallas, Texas, and the humans in Texas that are unconscious can hold the internet. If that's the way AT&T wants to do it, then at them, but not, you can't at us. We're going to go build our own shit. And it's already here. Trinity days. Trinity days. And again, that's the 9th, 10th, and 11th. Then we go to 1, which is a week from today, on the 12th. And then on Monday, the 13th of November, we have a new moon. And that new moon is going to be on Scorpio 2, which is the latter degrees of Scorpio, because the sun is just now entering into this 12 to 16 degree Scorpio that I've been talking. See how oh my God, you see how that went so dark? We're using the magic, if you will, the energetic that the Illuminati wrote timelines on, the Dragon Orders wrote timelines on, blah, 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 blah. In this year, it's being used to rebirth everything. So if you're able to line up with this right now, and then the new moon projections are in Scorpio on the 13th, and then I know the 17th is when Jupiter, that's when it's a year to the date on when we rebirthed it. But the sun took 15 months. The sun wasn't 12 months. It took 15 months. So I don't know if Jupiter, so we're at a 12-month marker. So it's definitely, you know, what's lining up right now is what I'm, you know, because we're writing it. And realize the tabernacle is setting up the mass consciousness programs that are going to air to the collective. And it really is, because it's all been being set and written, what lessons the different races and everybody needs to learn by what everybody's been doing the past 7 years. So it's like it's already been done, but through this next week, what's happening is that it's backing up into systems, all the good deeds and your good and the clearings that you've done, the family healings you've done, anything that you in the past 7 years, anything that you've done, good or bad, but especially in the healing stuff. There's timelines that are written for those higher lines and families that you claimed. And even if you don't know the family name, it doesn't matter, because a different family has claimed it. And if you're in the line, then now it's going to get pushed through the line, not capped off. And so what is going into Jupiter right now at the 0431 is because we closed the book. I mean, everything had been completed everywhere in order to close the book, which meant we had all the data and the connections, and if you will, like a Jacob's ladder, in all the lines of DNA, no matter even the hybridization and the all that included. We had all the connections into all the original bloodlines, no matter what the name became or who said they were the king or queen of this or that. It didn't matter. We were walking it through the DNA and the history as it was all interacting. And then what happened just this last September is that my body then updated and my veins changed and everything. And it updated to that, to be able to hold and project that energetic down here to everybody, because I was just basically a template to be able to hold all the recessive genes for all this time. Everybody just didn't know I was here because they was using me to collect all the dead people's information so they could utilize it and not give it to y'all. I was the most hidden one down here. Trust on that. Because of the information I'm telling you. So that's how important you guys are. No matter who you are that came to this channel today, I don't tell y'all enough, and I'm going to start telling you more. The people that are around me, that are my crew, that are my friends, they know this because I say it all the time. Because I let them know how grateful I am and how badass they are, because this is top-notch shit over here. If you're gravitating towards this information, no matter what it was, or if you were even sent over here for whatever reason, realize that not very many people can hold this frequency right now, and be proud of yourself and realize no matter what the reason was, you found it. I'm going to let y'all go. Do y'all have any questions? There's 3 of y'all on here, and I appreciate you. Let me see if I think that's it. That's all I really wanted. I wanted to get that out because I told y'all as soon as we found out something, I'd get it out. And we just put that together. I know that the goal was to try to keep the energy stagnant. Did y'all feel that it's stagnant? The 3 of y'all that are on here, can someone tell me, did you feel like the energy was really stagnant today? Like, it just didn't feel like anything was moving. It's nuts. There wasn't even like there wasn't even like a collective chain of consciousness that I could like tap into. But I also know that I mean, it's that shift that's going on. So there's just a lot of changes. The time change, we'll see. And I was on live last night when the time switched, and there's this whole thing about, because Europe, where Mim is, they did the time change a week ago. See, they like even moved our fucking time change, but that's an hour, which is a day, which is how me and Mim started talking about, wait a minute, this feels like a day out of time. And then I was bitching about an experience I had with a narcissistic thing that came, and I was trying to understand, because not lose my cookie cutter, because I mean, we're just so sick of it right now. Like, we're just warning you. We're so sick of it. We're so sick of it. We will not stand for it anymore, and don't make us figure out how we burst people into flames and shit, because... And that's not just me. That the entire collective, the entire fucking collective is done. They are done. So all you that are know people, if you can just let them know, this is like, no one's gonna take it anymore, and you're hurting yourself for resisting change, because The ones that you're really mad at, that you're giving shit to, are the only reason that they sent you over here is because we're that powerful. And what's funny is the ones that they send to us are usually, I'm sorry to tell you, but it's just the program. Y'all are usually the ones that are the most egotistical and narcissistic, and you're not very smart because you're the ones who came for us. The ones that are smart enough to understand truly who the fuck and what we can do. No, they got to become rich and powerful in order to pay somebody to come do it, because they're not going to come do it. Am I correct? And I heard that it is last time we do the time change. Ugh. We'll see. Yes, because it's the same thing with the financial system. I mean, it's this day on this area and it's this time on this area, but it's all running through one Ethernet. But then basically what we figured out is that's why they were moving money around. Like, it's kind of like if you had a washing machine that every time, let's say you put a price on your clothes and you paid $1,000 for that set of clothes, and every time that you wash that set of clothes, the washing machine goes $1,000. So it's every time you do a washing set, then the washing machine says it has $1,000, and then it lends it out to, I mean, literally, it's like that. And then it's okay, how long is the market open here, and how long is the market open there? And but that's because they were able to hold down the G. We were completely sedated for them to be able to do that. That part. I mean, we're gonna have more than, we already see them. There's more than one sun, there's more than one moon. That's what, this has never been done before. There really are, because we're traveling through. It's Delta Draconic. Because it was the Alpha Draconic star system that blew out. Realize the Alpha Draconic star system went 13 stars all the way around, but then they're right in the middle, and this is what Mecca and the black box and blah, 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 blah. Right in the middle, that's where basically the 3 dragons were. Basically. And realize that those 13 families were the ones that were doing all that they were doing to us in order to keep the power down here to run everything. Well, -2. -2. We're working with the collective. We built the Ascended. We're the ones who were always getting sucked dry. But that's how far out Alpha Draconic. Notice Alpha Draconic is. Where's my other phone? What time are we on? Almost an hour. See, we blew. It's far out in space. Because I'm a trillion-year star. This is where that missing $1 trillion and all that bullshit. But realize in my world, a star is a person. So whenever I blew out, like, there should have been 1 trillion people down here. What was funny, and I still don't understand this, because the way I understand is there should have been 1 trillion people in some weird, but when because I did numbers, we did that. And according to numbers, it was 4 billion that were real people. But we did come from the future because the Unix boxes blew up. So, and we did change time. So that could even be the reality that we knew of before we came in and changed it. So then this would have gone on, because I mean, we're early. This is why this is divine intervention. This is why it got put off so long for them to announce it, because no, it was not planned. It was the whole human collective had been fucking taken over. That part. So for my time travelers and my angels, just get through it these next few days. Trying to pull this up. I had some data, but I don't know if it's, yeah. This is hard to see. See, here's the pole. Okay, pole's right in the middle. Well, your Alpha Drac, it covers all that white. All the way on the other side of Ursa Minor, Cepheus, up to Cygnus, Lyra. And that, and then see the Boots constellation, Arcturus. Arcturus is the ring right on the outside. Arcturus is right here. Hercules, this is Libra. Gosh, this is hard. This is Libra. See how it balances? See that lineup? See that? Looks like a big old penis. It's the golden phallus. No wonder I had to sit on that big, they have this big statue of a penis in New Orleans. I had to sit on it. But that's Hercules. Hercules is 16 degrees, and Lyra's on the outskirt with the other one. So all of us starseeds that came back in, we came from way out here. We came from way out here. Alpha Draconic's going to affect everything as the human race around everything that's been generating from the core. There's different, let me see if I can find that. Ancient. Because there's 5 rings in the Alpha Draconic tail. And it really is the 5 dimensions, and but that ended up being the 5 spheres that Saint Sarah and all this had merged. So basically, it's like you're either going back into this snake at some point to get the rest out and to get yourself out, or, because see, this is notice 2 right here. Right here. This is notice 2. This is notice 1. So this is the beginning degrees of Libra, is notice 1 right here. This is where your body comes in to be made, and this is notice 2. This is what we blew out. This is what we blew out. And basically, this became Andromeda in this weird vector world. This became its own galaxy. This was like the 44th layer. When I'm talking about writing 44 timelines in this bridge, basically what we did is blew out the star systems and blew out from here to here. Literally. We blew Libra freaking shot a ray. Because this is Aries. Notice 2 is in Aries, 12 to 16 degrees. So it's like this blew out. And we looped back around and came back in like that. Literally. And then we got trapped in here. And this really became kind of like your Pleiadian, blah, 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 blah. So what's happening right now is this is blown out. However, if you don't understand that, you might get, and if you're caught somewhere down in these lower, you know, because like one would be, because, see, Thuban is way down here. This is the black hole. Thuban. We blew out that sucker in Virgo. Because the whole thing kind of coils. That's flat. That's 2D. It coils up. It's like a machine. Does that make sense? If you pulled that snake up like it's hanging in space. Oh, it's in a vacuum. Oh, it can't breathe. It's coiled like that. You're traveling up dimensional rings. But you're doing it, and that's the wheel. That's why they wanted the snake to eat its tail again. That's what that was all about. They wanted that snake to hold, and because they were in literally like inside it was inside your DNA too. I mean, it is. So it's like, but you have to, we all have it now. These are just these little gifts and things you have to know that you have, so you know to control them as well. Because it's totally trip out what all we can do. I mean, I have to consciously not think about people, and I have to consciously not obsess about anything, because I can accidentally make it happen in your life. You know, my powers are so strong, especially right this second. I know it's going to ease up once more people build it up, but right now, those of us who are projecting to so many, as the others are getting connected in, as each one comes in and takes their own character and takes some of that responsibility in that line, then it eases up on us. But until then, you know, this is the high priestess energy. This is the strength card. This is what this is. It's not forever. When you can make it through it, and you can do it, and you assist the collective in those ways through times like what's happening right now, and then starting after this new moon, then what you're doing is solidifying your crown. You're solidifying your who you said you were. You proved it by the etheric power and gifts and whatever it is that you're connecting over this next week. Hi, Natalie. This will be helpful. And I need to make Danielle a moderator, but I'm glad you're here. I'm going to make Danielle a moderator too, just because there was some weird, but I wasn't worried about it, because we know what's going on. It was just a little thing. But this video, I'm glad you're here. This will help. This just came in. All this information on what's going on this next 7 days. And I talked about you a lot, but not by name, in association to, well, let me add this because you're here. Because I started talking about Pismo. When we went to Pismo, the main thing we did was put the ocean back on my back. We had basically taken, and I mean, that hotel was a time traveler hotel. And they even admitted it. But it's because it was connected to these ocean grids, and if you knew how to maneuver it from the low frequency, that's how we did it. And so since whenever right when I got from Monterey and my passport got stolen and I went to Pismo. And then that's when they were on me like Donkey Kong. CIA was all around me the whole rest of the thing. I can't remember if that was 2000 and well, it's 2020 because it's when the Fed sent me that money to clear, and that's when all this shit started. And then Monterey, and then my passport. Now I'm blocked. What was it? Why was I saying this? The ocean. Since then, that's whenever I had pinned somebody else and basically made them the ocean, and that because we basically had to like pin some energy because it had gotten all my stuff got stolen, and somebody was using my identity, and still has been, by the way. A couple of people that we're getting to the bottom of who they are. But we put the ocean on our back, literally. And this has to do with the explosion and how, and I mean, because it really is like cosmic surfing. Man, I don't know what's fixing to happen. All I know is we're going to be okay. But this is why this all happened. And this is the day, Natalie, that I got unhooked from everything. On August 5th, what I'm seeing is August is lining up with November. This is the portal. This is the Stargate. But we've been setting it up for 3 years. And this is how we can also be really secure in the timelines that you've written. But it's also why for the past year, everything's been on repeat, the same fucking movie over and over on certain cosmic lineups for some of us because we were all writing this higher timeline. I have army grip. I know, I went. This is Izar. Army green is Izar, and pink. These are literally Izar colors. And Izar is basically your Arcturian Alpha Draconic hybrids. They'd be like your white Draco. That'd be another way we could say Izar is. It's also your white Draco. We were the ones that nobody knew about. We're good ones. Like I told you. Like seriously, it's as bad as that being here on Earth this long and the powers that I've had when I was around other reptilians, I didn't realize that I had the ability and I didn't know that they had the ability to look into people and look into your timelines and look into your mind and do certain shit like that either. And I was one of them that could do it. And that's why also they were keeping away from everybody because in this new energy, you don't have to talk about it. You don't have to talk about it. You just get in the room with them for about 30 minutes and that's it. It's literally like a download that happens energetically when it comes to abilities. And I'll add this just so everyone's aware that another reason that the unions weren't being allowed was because the cosmic energy and our energy basically, if you want to think about it in vampire terms, daylights low frequency timelines and daylights a darker entity, which means that as soon as they come, we just naturally heal and we have all the divine codes. So when they come into our energy, we change them to where they're no longer connected into the drugs, into, I mean, if they're like even the entertainers, they'll be shifted into a different current that these retards need to should have realized that was way better, but you know, they haven't got it quite yet, it seems. Because then you get tuned to a different frequency that has no voice and nobody. Like, we're ready to see some freaking healed people somewhere. Right? There's a larger collective looking for that now. But in that narcissistic mind that has never seen anything done like that before, and it's never been how it works before, because when it comes to one of us, that's all we hear is that it's never been done before. Well, no shit, Sherlock. It's a change of fucking physics and the world just blew up and we put in a new physics and you're swimming around in your own blood. No shit, Sherlock. It is a different fucking thing that's going on as you're coming out of this stagnant time reality and rebirthing your own new reality codes at the same time with the entire collective, which is what is going to be happening down here for the whole world for the next 4 years. So as you walk through these days and start today, before you go to bed tonight, grab whatever, start a calendar. And I'm getting this right now. Start a calendar of today, what happens these next 4 days, then the 3 days, then the 1 day, then that 0 day on the new moon. Because evidently, I'm getting it right now, that's going to be a roadmap for us also. Because these next 4 years is what I'm getting, right? Because we rewrote 4 years. It's like this 4-year cycle that's linking in to basically give everybody what a balance to get into a structure, and then this thing will blow again halfway through. Because we just got started. We're far away. It's like all of us from the outside are still having to be gritted down a little bit, and we're having to do things really slow because we can't just blow it out. If we just blow it out, nobody'd be coming with us. It's more like our energy's getting grounded in, and we're connecting in from the bottom up and the top up all the way around, and it's having to saturate, and build, and then it'll link in again, and then the whole thing will push, because that's how it works. So the next days, if it's a 4 day, a 3 day, a 1 day, and then just keeping kind of count of what's going on and what you see in your reality. Doesn't matter what everybody else sees. What shows up for you. Even just weird, if it's just something weird, just make a note. You don't have to connect it and figure it out. Just make a note. And then that's going to give us a really good idea of what's going to be going on. And even on I'm seeing energetically where what I'm being shown is that this week could be repeated. I'm being told more than a few times. So energetically, whatever dance that each of us does, and that makes sense because, I mean, we have to line it up on at least 3 dimensions. And so you really do kind of do it 3 times. That's why when everybody goes, nothing happened, but the whole sun blew out, but they're saying like nothing happened down here. And you're like, okay, nothing happened. Sure, wait 3 days. Let's give it 3 months. Sure, nothing happened. It's not how it works. It all lines up on 3 different dimensions, but it's going to be real quick. And we might even have a double back. Meaning we could have this week, and then the next week even feels like the set of it, because it's really like you have to walk it, and then it sets and matches. But I don't know if it'll be the next week or not. I'm just giving you example of how quick we could use that pattern again. Is what it's, because it's going to be like a pattern. It's going to be dealing with certain things. You'll be able to put the 4 days or 3 days and 1 day into some type of box for your left brain that will help you understand how things are coming in too when they start coming in, is what I'm understanding. See, Natalie came in. Her energy on here helps me. And Danielle's here. See, the whole crew and the good shit's coming in. Because that's how it works. I think that's it. Is there anything else? All right, y'all. You know, I'll be back if there's something like tonight. Just hang in there. Just get through it. Hang in there. Stay in 0 point. If something like me today, when I was just getting, I was like, what the fuck? Talk to somebody, talk it out. Just talk it out right now, because whenever you understand what's happening, then you can control it, because you understand what's happening. Let me know.